Hey everyone, today is my Unreal Engine studying day and I am always super happy when it comes to this day. So on my calendar, I block out days. There are days for Unreal Engine learning because I want to be a game dev. And then there are also days for app building. I'm building an app as well. It's just a really fun day for me to learn about how to create games and I just find like excuses to watch podcasts and YouTube videos of other indie game devs to get me inspired. I get to just watch videos about my favorite video games as well. But let me show you my progress so far. So for Unreal Engine, I was kind of arrogant, okay, because I had software engineering background. So I was like, oh, creating games, Unreal Engine, I'm gonna pick it up real fast. Right? And I attempted to just use AI for that. And I asked AI, could you show me step-by-step instruction on how to create this game on Unreal Engine? And it lists out, step 1, you have to do this. Step 2, you have to do that. You have to pull in the actor, right? For a starting position. And I was just like, what is an actor? I quickly realized that to be able to understand Unreal Engine, I have to actually sit through a whole tutorial to really understand its jargon and how the interface goes, what goes where, things like that. I'm starting to understand different terminologies so it's great. Now I know what an actor is, which is great. I followed through a first-person shooter tutorial on Unreal Engine. And let me show you what I got so far, and I'm so super proud of it. Here, so these are like what I've done so far following the tutorial. I don't know if without the tutorial I would understand or I would be able to do this all by myself. Probably not yet, but I'm gonna use AI to help me whenever possible. In the beginning, because I was a software engineer, right? So I had this superiority complex of thinking that like, oh, for Unreal Engine, you know what? I'm gonna use C++. Whatever, I'm gonna like understand it way better than Blueprint or whatever. Blueprint just doesn't really look like a proper language or whatever, right? But then I don't know, just something shifted in my brain that makes me realize that nothing is beneath me and I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to learn it like a proper student. I'm going to take it in. I also watched videos from other indie devs who give advice. I think I watched an interview from the creator of Choo Choo Charles, and he literally didn't have any coding experience prior to creating his viral game. If this gentleman can create a game without prior knowledge, I'm going to follow whatever he's doing. Okay, so it was like super interesting for me to learn about Unreal Engine. I got to learn the interface of Unreal Engine. I got to learn how to move object. I get to also learn about how I should be able to navigate around the world. There are like multiple ways you can move object. You can move object in each dimension, or you can choose to move object in all dimensions, or just two selected dimensions, which is really cool. You can also rotate object as well. I also learned this very interesting thing about Unreal Engine is that in the beginning, I was going to learn how to make 2D games because I thought that was easier. But then I realized that Unreal Engine was made specifically for 3D games. And now I think I'm going to make a 3D games because from what I learned, it's actually very simple to do. Unreal Engine just makes it so much easier to do 3D games. So as you can see, this is the Blueprint classes. And if we go into target game, this is just an example of the blueprints that I've built so far. And this is all thanks to the tutorial that I watched. There's more, this is for the target. It was a super fun learning experience. And this is the end screen. And you can see blueprint being added in there as well. Yeah, there were just so many cool things that I was able to learn. I think it's going to take me a while to be able to really fully understand it and do it myself, but it was super fun. I'm just super happy that I was able to learn so much. This is the game example. So basically, to summarize this, I've been a software engineer. I decided to learn Unreal and focus on it finally because building a game of my own has always been my dream. I thought it'd be pretty simple, but turns out I have no idea what I'm doing.
I would start a project and then mess something up and not sure how to fix it, and then have to start a project all over again. Then I would get sucked into watching hour-long podcasts about other successful indie devs such as Choo Charles or Stardew Valley, all from Washington State. Then I decided that, okay, I don't know anything, and let's just follow a tutorial. There's just too much going on with the Unreal tool. Learning how the camera works with different buttons. The camera controls were a bit wonky, so it took a while for me to get used to. There's just so much to learn, but it is truly exciting. I'm just going to do this on my own pace. I'm not going to rush and really fully grasp all the information so I can really understand this amazing tool. I'm at the part of the tutorial where I have to program the rifle. With the original rifle, I would be able to shoot the target, and if the target hit 3 times, like if you look at the upper left corner, then I will win. But then you also see the timer on the top right corner, right? So if the timer runs out, then I will lose. See? And then I'll respawn. So, and I'm currently just using the pre-designed asset that was provided by the tutorial to learn how to design the gun.
Throughout the process of creating my app, what I realized is that I thrive so much better when I work with someone else. When I say that I work with someone else, is that person can just be there for me to be accountable, and that's so important. I can do things on my own, but I feel like I'm just way more productive when there's someone there to just tell me like I need all the feedback that I can. I just really want a person to just be there and tell me, you're going in the wrong direction, you're wasting your time, this is the result that you want, and this is the actions that you need to take to get the result that you want. I watched a YouTube channel called Bite Me Games, and they give really great advice for indie game dev. And basically he said that if I want to start being an indie game dev, I should create a game that is very small in scope. So small that I can finish a game in like 2 or 3 months. And that's what I'm trying to focus on. Making 2D games in Unreal Engine is actually very counterintuitive. Unreal Engine is made originally for 3D games, and now I switched my direction to creating 3D games. So that's my progress so far. The tutorial that I'm following is of this gentleman called Unreal Sensei. He's very awesome in explaining all the concepts for beginner like me. It's so easy to follow his tutorial, but it's so exciting. So I guess that is it for today.